Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Golden Falls, Golden What If, whatever you want to call me, back with a brand new What If. What if Deku was the reincarnation of Akaza from Demon Slayer? If you know, you know. First off, before we do anything, a couple things I want to say. Shout out to Kosho, I believe that's how you pronounce their name. For the thumbnail, sick thumbnail. I appreciate he offered to do it for me, and I appreciate that so much on a tight, window frame that that I have, and like I don't really have time to make thumbnails as much anymore, at least for this next coming week. So I appreciate I appreciate that from him. So his link will be in the bio, so please go check him out, show some love. I would appreciate that a lot, and I'm sure he would appreciate it as well. Secondly, this is actually not going to be a movie. I'm gonna split this up into about 3 parts. So if you enjoy it in a part format, let me know, because in this way I'll be able to do multiple what ifs at the same time, and also hopefully post a little bit more consistently. Because I was realizing that these what if movies a little long, bro, so it would take me a little bit. All right, but if you enjoy these more, let me know. It will, I'll be a little bit more consistent with these, right? Because it'd be a little bit shorter. But if you just want the movies, let me know as well. I'll just crank out the movies. It will take a little bit longer than these, but hey, I produce for the people. All right, enough with all that. I'm not gonna waste any more of your time on that. Let's get right into it. In a world where superpowers were developed in humans, there was a boy who would eventually become the top hero, and his name was Izuku Midoriya. And this is his story. Midoriya was a young child going to a school at the age of 4 with his friend Bakugo, who just received his very own quirk. The kids around Bakugo, including the teachers, awed at the amazing quirk that he was showing. "Explosions are so cool, Kachan. I hope my quirk is as cool as yours." "That's gonna be hard, Deku, especially because my quirk is so awesome." After a few more days, Deku was on his way to school, and seemingly the sun began to put extreme pain on him. But once he got in the shade, the pain vanished, and the seemingly sunburned skin that was like the course of that pain just vanished as well. His mother, he ended up telling his teachers about this feeling in the sun, and his mother was called. His mother picked him up and brought him to the doctors to get him checked. The doctor eventually telling her that he may have developed his quirk. When they see the quirk specialist, he explains that Midori has gotten his quirk, and what really they can make of it. It's some enhancement quirk. It seems that his cells are in a state of flux that will allow for him to have super strength, super regeneration, and stamina that is extremely high, to the level of a pro-level athlete. It seems though he has some sort of weakness to the sun, in which when he's in it, it will mildly hurt him and tone back the regeneration and other qualities quite a bit. I'm sure with proper quirk training and other things, he could get around this weakness. For now, he should try and wear clothing that blocks himself from the sun. But I recommend that you have to have him go out in the sun a bit at a time every day until he builds up a higher tolerance. We also deem this quirk to be demon art. We have seen similar things to this, and frankly, this is the most fitting description with the weakness that your son has to the sun and all, and the increased attributes. Think of it like one of those animes about demons who have supernatural abilities. They both thank the doctor, and Deku leaves extremely excited that he can finally become just like his role model and favorite hero, All Might. When Deku goes to school the next day, he tells everyone about his quirk, and they all think that it's so cool that a quirk like that can do so many things. Bakugo, on the other hand, at this time is seeming somewhat happy for Deku, but still feels that he has the superior quirk. Bakugo actually grows up with a better attitude toward Deku because of he finally has this quirk, but still nonetheless he feels that he is the best. As Deku grows up, he begins to train his quirk in the sun to gain some resistance to it. As the years went by, he turned 10 and he began watching martial arts, and he loved it a lot. He then convinced his mom to let him go into martial arts, starting with karate, then judo, then kickboxing, until it went down the whole chain of various martial arts. As he did this though, and progressed at a faster rate, he began to think less and less of the people who either didn't go anywhere with their craft or just flat out didn't try. Deku, after basically mastering almost all of the martial arts that exist, he began to take the rest of the time he had in middle school to train his quirk. One day, Deku was actually considering who he could possibly even train with. And with the time he spent mastering martial arts, he didn't have many friends or, frankly, interactions outside of school at all. He then decided that maybe he should ask Bakugo, his childhood friend, with a seemingly very strong quirk, to help him train. Kachan, before you leave, I have a proposition for you. What is it, you damn nerd? Listen. I need a training partner, and frankly, you have a strong quirk. And I know you love getting stronger, so how about it? You damn nerd. You're gonna apply to UA, huh? Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. I guess there is room for two of us, but I will be the best. So I assume that's a yes to the training? For the next 2 years or so, I guess I can tolerate you. Sounds good to me. Dagoa Beach tomorrow after school. See you then, you damn nerd. Whoa, I just combined their names. Deku and Bakugo meet at the beach, seeing piles of trash as basically a way to train. They begin to clean up the beach, and after about 5 months, they were able to clean it completely. And finally, they can begin quirk training. One day, they were actually caught training with their quirks and got in trouble with a bro hero. You know you two can't be using your quirks, right? Deku then responds, "Oh, we're sorry, sir. We didn't know." Well, I think you two could have promising futures. So this is what I want to do. I will guide you in your training myself. 5 times a week, here from 5 to 9 p.m. Deku then realizes, wait, I know who you are. You're Night Eye. That's me, but don't go telling your little friends about me training you. In agreement, they both shake their heads. As Night Eye walks away, he begins to think that maybe training more people would help All Might realize that there are aspiring heroes who are there ready to take on his power. After training with Night Eye for about halfway into their final year in middle school, Night Eye told them that he no longer had the extra time to set up trainings, but he got them permission to use their quirks unsupervised during their normal training times at Dagoba Beach. After thanking him for the training, they realized how much they have grown. How much they have grown. Not so much as their their quirks, but their physical and mental capabilities in fights. And they truly learned more and more about decision making and covering their own weaknesses. After a bit more time, then came the day that their teacher began to talk about careers, eventually throwing the papers into the air, saying that he knows everyone wants to go the hero route, and that Bakugo and Midoriya are even applying to UA to go into the UA entrance exam. The whole class looks at them and they begin to mutter about how they both can become great pros, but Midoriya's quirk isn't too flashy, so as they say this, Bakugo tells them basically to shut up. and that the only person that even has a chance at competing with him is Deku over there. And the rest of you extras are bound to be sidekicks to some C-tier wannabe hero. The class, outraged at the comment, screams, but that is about it. After class, Deku and Bakugo talk about training, and Deku tells him that he's gonna take the walk home really fast to write something down in his journal and grab some things before heading over to Dagobah Beach. Bakugo acknowledges what he said, and Deku begins to walk home, entering the sewer. When he walks in, Deku can sense something odd, like there's something near him. Alright, come out. I know you're there. Stop hiding. Deku learned this throughout his years of basically doing martial arts, training and honing his skills to sense people's intent to fight, kill, for peace, and many other things. How'd you know I was down there, kid? Something I learned a couple years ago. Well, I need your body. I didn't know he was here. Hey, I mean, you can try. I kind of need a worthy opponent anyway. You're too cocky, kid. The sludge villain charges at Deku, and Deku just jumps over the villain and slightly taunts him with his hand. The sludge villain charges once again, and then Deku begins to fight back. Deku slides under the villain and screams, "Flying Planet Thousand Wheels!" Deku kicks his legs up, sending the sludge villain to the roof, and in an instant bounces off the roof himself, sending a large shockwave downward with a kick, making the sludge villain go everywhere. Damn! Bro, that's gross, dude. I am here! All Might, no way! All Might then, in complete shock, tells Deku that he did good stopping this villain, and that it's super impressive that someone your age can even do something like this. Deku, of course, thanks him and tells him that he's been training for a while now with his quirk, explaining his quirk to him. All Might begins to think that this kid has one amazing quirk, and maybe he is worthy. And maybe he is worthy of his own quirk. Deku then tells All Might that he will be attending the best school. Tells All Might that he will be attending the best school in Japan, and one day he will surpass him as the #1 hero. Deku then, basically, after saying that, helps All Might pick up the villain really fast, and then just leaves off home, not even asking the question that he did in canon, being basically sure of himself at this point. And compared to canon, the sludge villain doesn't escape, and basically the 10 months go by pretty easily, with Deku and Bakugo getting stronger and stronger, right, through training, making this Bakugo way stronger than in canon. A month before the exam, they actually both decide to take time to study, because frankly, Deku or at least Deku hasn't done much of that. He's been just been training and learning more martial arts techniques, and that's all he loves doing. He loves to fight. So he basically takes that last month to try to study. The day then finally came for both of them to do the entrance exam, and both get there and begin to head in until Deku sees a girl trip and basically almost hit her face on the pavement. And in an instant, you couldn't even see him move. He grabs her and just puts her on her feet. She thanks him and wishes him good luck on the exam, basically in a panic that some boy just grabbed her, right? And just walks in all flustered. They enter the exam hall and do the written portion of the exam, in which Deku does well on. Not the best, but he does pretty well. Once that was over, Deku and Bakugo are basically separated for the practical exam. Deku enters the practical, seeing the girl that he stopped from falling, and tries to go and talk to her, but this guy with blue hair tries to stop him. I will not let you talk to her and sabotage. As he says this, Deku was already on the opposite side of him, like the guy who wasn't there at all. Hey, Are you nervous? Oh, yeah, a little bit. What about you? No, I'm fine, but I'm sure you will do well. Just try your best. Go, go, go! There's no countdowns in a real battle! Deku then races off at incredible speeds, destroying tons and tons of robots. In an seemingly like 15 to 30 seconds, he racked up about 90 points worth of robots, and then just stopped. Dude, this is lame. Like, it's not even hard to destroy these robots. So until the last minute of the practical, Deku was basically just waiting around and watching until the 0-pointer came out. Him feeling the footsteps of this giant robot. Whoa, now that is awesome. Deku then looks and sees everyone running, but then sees the girl he met on the ground, under rubble, about to be stomped on by the 0-pointer. Deku, with excitement but also concern, charges at the 0-pointer that is towering over the city and begins to shoot shockwaves at it. Annihilation type, 8-layer demon core, shooting tons of shockwaves at the robot, just toppling it over, and it lands on the ground. Well, that was pretty fun. I mean, pretty quick, but it was fun at least. Stronger than those other tiny robots. He then throws the debris off the girl and carries her to the side as the practical comes to end. She then basically thanks him profusely, and they trade names and numbers after she got treatment from Recovery Girl. Deku then heads home for the next week, so he begins to train some more mental and spiritual martial arts that will allow for him to stay even more aware in a battle. One day, his mom comes stumbling into his room. Izuku, a letter from UA, it's here! Deku then grabs the letter and, like, basically in excitement, shuts the door on his mom. And he opens the letter and All Might appears. I am here, Izuku Midoriya. I met you under a sewer under a sewer, with you providing justice to a villain yourself with ease. And with that impressive quirk, I know you are bound to do amazing things. With that said, I am the newest UA teacher, and I am happy to inform you of not only your acceptance into UA, but also that you got the highest score with 90 villain points, but also a hidden category, 50 hero points, making your total 140 points. Congratulations and welcome to UA. Damn, first? I thought I wouldn't get first because I got super unmotivated at the end there, and just waited for the 0-pointer, but I guess I'm just that good. He begins to laugh to himself, and then after a bit more time, in terms of like the day, and in the morning, the first day of UA finally arrives. Deku basically walks into class seeing Bakugo getting yelled at by the same kid with blue hair he met. Deku kind of looks and points at Bakugo and kind of starts laughing at him, but the blue-haired kid runs over to Deku and introduces himself, apologizes, and says that Deku is the superior student. Deku kind of just like shrugs off what he says and just basically goes to sit down. As he goes to sit down, he sees Uraraka walk in, and he waves at her, and they eventually all sit down before their teacher even comes. The teacher then comes in. I'm Miss Raizawa. I'm your homeroom teacher. Put these on and meet me on the training field. But what about orientation? We don't have time for things like that. I have like 3 years to make you into the best heroes possible. Orientation is useless. The class then meets outside, and Aizawa throws Deku a ball. Midoriya, you got the highest of the practical exam. I want you to throw this ball using your quirk. Deku looks at him weirdly and then decides to comply. He then launches the ball higher and higher. The ball seems like it's about to decline, till Deku throws a punch in its direction, sending a shockwave, launching it like even farther, where basically no one could see. 15,000 meters. That's impressive. I could have gotten farther, but since I'm out in the sun, I am a bit weaker than I normally am, like compared to at night at least. The whole class, including Aizawa, look at him like he basically was talking crazy. What do you mean, Midoriya? The sun. What do you mean, Midoriya? Well, the sunlight makes me slightly weaker. I've been working on evolving that, but it's been pretty difficult. Even when I was a kid, it would burn me pretty bad, but now it's like, it doesn't hurt as bad. It stings a little, but you get used to it. After his ball throw, everyone seems to basically be excited about like what's going on and begin to follow suit until Aizawa says that if you are last in these challenges, you will be expelled. The assessment then finishes with obviously Deku getting first and everyone else falling in line behind him. But Mineta is actually the one who is in last place. Mineta, come with me. The rest of you, you're free to go. Everyone just leaves, seemingly distraught about the fact that this kid just got expelled on the first day. Except for Bakugo, Deku, and this guy with a weird scar. Bakugo and Deku proceed to basically leave and begin talking about what just happened. The kid kind of deserved it, you know. He didn't really seem like he even wanted to become a hero for like an actual reason. Yeah, the kid, he deserved it anyways. It doesn't really matter. He's just some extra anyways. They then depart home, and the next day they come to school, and when they arrive and sit down, Aizawa tells them that he will actually not be teaching them today. And someone busts through the door. I am here. Everyone gasps in excitement that All Might is their teacher for the day. Oh my god, he explains that they will be doing some combat training, which, dude, excites Deku to no end. They all head out to Ground Gamma and random teams are picked. Deku ends up with Uraraka and ends up going against Bakugo and Ida. All Might explains that the goal of the villains is to protect the bomb in the building for 5 minutes, or capture the heroes in which Deku and Uraraka are the heroes and Bakugo and Ida are the villains. Hey Kachan, if you want to forfeit, feel free. I won't put it against you. Not a chance, nerd. I'm gonna beat you senseless. The villains then take their positions and Deku begins to come up with a plan. So Uraraka, what do you want to do? I'm not good at making plans, to be honest with you. It's fine. The time. How about this? Deku basically explains her the plan, and the time is now up, and the heroes must proceed. Uraraka grabs onto Deku, and they begin to use her quirk to scout where the bomb is, finding it pretty quickly. And Deku actually just shatters the glass and goes back down to where they started. Uraraka, feel free to go get the bomb if you want, but I really want to spar with Bakugo real quick. Before response, Deku was actually gone in an instant. Kachan. A villain? How could you do this to us? Shut up, you damn nerd. Let's just get started. Hey, you got it. Deku and Bakugo basically charge at each other and both clashed in the hand-to-hand combat, which you would think Deku would have extreme advantages over. But through their basically immense training, Bakugo begins to throw punches that his nitroglyceride or whatever, the explosions come out of the gaps between his knuckles, basically blasting both of Deku's arms off, and he screams in pain. Oh no, my arms! My arms! Behind the screen, everyone is freaking out, oh my god, no way, this, like, Deku's arms, or Midoriya's arms, and then, until, nerd, shut up, okay, that was funny, though, and he basically just regrows his arms, seemingly, or regenerates them. Everyone just in shock behind the screen, like, whoa, like, Midoriya can do that? That's insane. Deku then begins to just shoot shockwaves at Bakugo, blasting him back toward the wall, and eventually bouncing off the wall himself and landing a brutal kick on top of Bakugo's head, basically knocking him out. As Deku walks away, he looks at Bakugo and goes, "Sorry, man, I mean, I didn't want to end it that quick, but we are in a closed area, and you know how I am in closed areas. I love to fight." And then after he does this little remark and puts the capture tape on Bakugo, you can hear, "Heroes win." Wow, Uraraka must have gotten the bomb. Nice, less work for me, I guess. The MVP is actually named Ida, and Deku gets partially scolded for just literally wanting to fight, which is kind of like, you know, his thing. He just wants to fight people, fight the strongest, that's it. And all the rest of the fights go about the same, and then the day ends with Deku heading home, and before he crashes on his bed, he just watches some UFC fights that are on, you know? The next day, everyone arrives, and Aizawa begins to explain what the plan is for the day. By the way, we're skipping the part where they assign class president. I think it's ridiculous. I'm not doing it, okay? I'm sure I did it in a different What If. I just hate it. I don't like that whole... Okay, I feel like it's just a waste of an episode. Okay, we're done now. But yeah, it's Ida and Momo. We're just gonna go with that. Okay, sounds good. Aizawa then basically explains that today... Oh, my bad. Today we'll be doing rescue training, so everyone meet me outside at the bus. We're going to head over there now. Everyone basically gets on the bus and they all begin to talk about who's the strongest in the class. They come to the conclusion that it has to be either Shoto, Todoroki, or Midoriya. After seeing Midoriya basically knock out Bakugo pretty quickly, Deku interjects and basically tells him, like, I never thought I would be saying this, but y'all are underestimating Kachan. I mean, frankly, if I didn't have insane regeneration, he could have ended that fight pretty quickly. Am I right? Everyone looks at him and then looks at Bakugo, and then Bakugo kind of just turns away, annoyed, and they all wait an answer from Midoriya. You will see, trust me, he's pretty strong. We've been training together for a while now. I mean, can't really tell if he likes me or not. We're kind of like on that neutral phase of our relationship, or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know if we're friends. Bakugo then turns and looks at Midoriya. Shut up, you damn fucking nerd. Okay, Bakugo. Oh, okay, Kachan. They all get out and go to the USJ and begin to listen to Pro Hero 13 talk about what they will be basically doing until Deku just cuts her off. 13, Aizawa, get everyone out now. Midoriya, what are you talking about? Now, go, everyone get out. Damn. It's too late now. Tons of villains come pouring out of this portal looking thing, as well as a man with hands all over him, followed by a beast looking creature. Aizawa then says, 13, protect the students. Ooh, now this is what I'm talking about. A real challenge. And that is the end of part 1 of this series. Sorry for the little cliffhanger, but you know this next part is going to be a banger for sure. Sorry about the cliffhanger, but if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. That will tell me that you're loving this What If, you enjoy this What If or whatever. Leave in the comments below any suggestions that you want from me in terms of what ifs. If that means My Hero, Naruto, which I haven't done in a while, or Demon Slayer, and hey, Dragon Ball, which be on the lookout. If you like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, I should be coming out with something soon. It's in the works. Trust me. But yeah, with that said, I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, let me know. I mean, and before I forget, make sure check in the description, check out the boy Kocho. Thumbnails fire. I appreciate all the love and support. Have an amazing day. Later.
I don't wanna waste what's left. And